Hello, class. So for this, we're going to be talking about our chi-square test here, Pearson's chi-square. Um, Last week we worked on correlations, which is looking at two different continuous or quantitative variables in SPSS, and now we're going to talk about what happens if you have two categorical or qualitative variables in SPSS. So let's think about first of all uh, what the Pearson's chi-square really does. So it is the way to determine the relationship between two categorical variables. So for an example, we're going to be investigating how snack preference varies by gender. Gender is a categorical variable. The categories are male and female. And snack preference is also going to be a categorical variable, being chips and crackers. So this would be a cross-tabulation table, or crosstab. And we have a 2 by 2 here. So 2 down, 2 over, right? So here's our gender, boys and girls, and here's our snack preference, chips and crackers. So we can look at this and see that boys, uh, or 12 of the boys preferred chips over crackers, whereas 30 boys preferred crackers over chips. For girls, 44 preferred chips over crackers, 16 preferred crackers over chips. So we can see a relationship here. Let's talk about directionality. So with our correlation, we talked directionality a little bit. So with a correlation, you had positive correlation, or you had a negative correlation, something like that, a downward slope. So directionality works very similarly with uh, with crosstabs here. So our directionality here is that boys preferred crackers over chips, and girls preferred chips over crackers. So we're seeing the directionality there in the form of preference. So if we look back at our hypothesis here, let's just mark this. We were investigating how snack preferences vary by gender. So we're seeing some variation here. So if we go to the next slide here, let's talk about exactly what these things mean. So let's describe the following preferences, or patterns here. So we're going to describe this. Boys prefer crackers, girls prefer chips. There's some gender differences there. So our chi-squared that we would run in a statistical analyses through SPSS would give us a value of 19.93 with a p-value of less than 0.001. Now remember, a p-value of less than 0.05 is a significant p-value, so this is a significant difference. For this class, don't worry about what this 19.93 means. We're just going to be worried primarily about our p-value here and the differences that we're seeing. So there is a significant difference between boys and girls based on their snack preference. Let's look at another one. So for this one, we see that boys prefer chips over crackers, 42 to 10, and girls prefer crackers over chips. So opposite of what we see up here. Now let's look at our chi-square. So our chi-square came out at 18.47, and our p-value is less than 0.001. So we also found significance here. So there was a significant difference between boys and girls on snack preference, that boys preferred chips while girls preferred crackers. Here's the next one. Let's move this out of the way. So snack preference for boys and girls based on gender. We're seeing here that boys slightly preferred chips over crackers, not a huge difference. Same for the girls, they slightly preferred crackers over chips. We're not talking about great differences here. There is a slight gender difference, a little bit. So let's look at the chi-squared. So there's really no pattern here. Slight pattern, if anything, and it was confirmed that there was no pattern by a p-value of greater than 0.05. As a p-value of 0.64 is nowhere near significance. Let's go to the next one. Boys 32 to 30, girls 44 to 16. So we're seeing a great difference between snack preference and girls, but we're not seeing any difference with boys. So let's see what this p-value comes out to. So girls prefer chips, whereas boys have no preference. So that's a great way of describing what this data is saying. No preference here, 32 to 30, not that great, but girls obviously prefer chips. There's a pretty large difference between those numbers, confirmed by our p-value of 0.013 being significantly different from each other, and also being a significant p-value of less than 0.05.